What's up, guys? Craig Mack here, LBBK Beekeeper. So, on this dark and stormy night here in Philadelphia, I was looking at my honey that I pulled earlier this year, not that long ago, probably 2-3 weeks ago, and it was liquid when I pulled it, and it was crystallized almost completely today. So, I have been selling it. And for some reason, and I don't know why, and maybe somebody can clue me in as to why this happens, but it was like a switch that it went from liquid to crystalled. So in the spirit of wanting to sell honey that's not crystallized, I decided to build myself a honey warmer box. So this is what I got. I pulled this old cedar wardrobe out of the trash probably like 8 years ago. It's been sitting in the back of my shop. It's had all kind of stuff in it. You know, this isn't like old world craftsmanship or anything like that, but it is cedar and the finish is horrible, but it's still cedar. It is actually cedar. It's not some veneer. Somebody spent the time, put this thing together, and I decided to create myself a little honey warmer on here. So it runs off of just an extension cord that's wired into the switch. I have a digital thermometer that runs inside through that box. And right now, let me show you inside. Right now I have a heat lamp bulb, one you would use for your, I'm trying to not to get you blinded by the light, one you would use for, you know, a bathroom, something like that. We step out of the shower, we have the heat lamp on. That's what this bulb is. I got that because I couldn't get a hold of a ceramic bulb, which is what I'm going to convert this to once I get it ordered. And honestly, within, I don't know, here's the crystallized completely within, you know, 20 minutes or so. That's what you get. What I did with this, let me shut the light off, maybe you can see a little bit better. It's just a 2-inch insulation foam. I lined the entire inside, well, not the entire inside, but 3 walls. I'm going to add more to this front wall down here and to the back of the doors, but honestly, this is working pretty good as is. I might not even do that. As you can see, there's my extension cord wired into the box and wired down across the bottom and into the ceramic bulb housing, or porcelain, actually. 2-inch insulation foam on 3 sides and on the ceiling. Well, like I said, this was something I pulled out of the trash like 7 years ago, and I just have held on to it. Had plans on possibly making it, you know, a usable cedar chest, but for myself, I've decided to convert it into a honey storage. Now, what I did for the bottom, for these racks, is I had this old box spring. Again, something I've had laying around my shop for a few years, that I just cut pieces out of to get me up and above the bar, or I'm sorry, the bulb, so it didn't have, you know, I wasn't that close to it. I wanted to create some space in between the bulb and the honey. Now, this is just temporary, but it was something I knew I could use this for something. I mean, it's a structural shape. It's a good platform. It can hold a lot of weight. To me, it was something I held on to because I knew I could repurpose some part of this, and I could possibly do it even further. But as of right now, I did this as this is something I had that I didn't have to build. I just had to cut it down and make it work for my purposes. And I cut the 2 corners off, and I have them set metal to metal, and then I just laid a 1/2-inch hardware cloth on top just as act as a net so I could lay bottles out. And you can see this one was completely crystallized. And this has only been in there about 10 minutes. It's really not that hot. Right above the bulb, obviously, is, as you would expect. And I'm not even all that comfortable with how close this is, although it is probably about 7 or 8 inches away. I would like a little bit more distance. And that's just me being maybe extra cautious. And obviously having a milk crate full of 1 pound bottles is going to take a while to decrystallize, but it's going to work for me for now until I get a chance to build a better rack. So, trash to treasure. Gotta love it. I did spend about 20 bucks on the parts between the switch, the box, the porcelain bulb. Yeah, I forget what they're called, but anyway, the porcelain thing that holds the bulb and the bulb itself. All told, $22 I spent. I had the wire laying around, I had the cabinet, I had it on extension cord. I did pay for the thermostat, or the thermometer. As you can see, I mean, it's 81.7 in there now. And that's at the top of the cabinet. That's it's a 250 watt heat bulb. There it is. Pretty, practical, relatively inexpensive. Put this honey back in there. Right on. As always, trying to save a buck, trying to build some cool stuff, trying to enjoy myself and enjoy the whole thing about beekeeping. Now, this isn't practical for somebody running 1,000 pounds, but for me, it's more than enough. And it was fun to build, so I did it. Thanks for watching. Later.